Hey, wait. Why is the camera pointing there? It should be pointing the other way. Oh, hey. So, I all have a question to ask for you. What kind of device do you use to watch movies on the go? Well, my devices I use to watch movies on the go are a Game Boy Advance, the PlayStation Portable, and of course my good old trusty Sylvania DVD player. Well, Sylvania Portable DVD player to be exact. I don't have it on me because, well, I'm too lazy to get it out. But I do like to watch movies on it and do like to take it with sometime. But, as you may know, those aren't the devices that, of course, a lot of people watch movies on nowadays. As I'm going to tell you right now. So, what are the devices that people use to watch movies on nowadays? Well, they are, of course, smartphones, tablets, and laptops, and, of course, the occasional iPods, or iPod videos. Not a lot of people use iPods nowadays. I mean, when's the last time you saw someone use an iPod? But I still use them, though. That's why I don't use Spotify, because, well, I kind of need to put music on my iPod. Anyways, let's compare the three most modern devices to watch movies on the go. So I'm going to do a rundown of which devices are the best and which ones I like to watch movies on when I'm going on a trip. So I devised the three most modern devices, aside from the iPod, which hardly anybody uses anymore. The smartphone, the tablets, and of course an iPod. Well, not an iPod Touch, but a just normal iPod, an iPod Video. And of course, as you can tell, I'm actually leaving the laptop out of the equation. Why? Because, well, I've watched movies on the laptop before, and it's actually pretty great. I have like a Windows 7 laptop with a built-in DVD drive, and you can watch pretty much any DVD movies on the go. But the downside is that a lot of laptops are bulky, and I can't really take my current everyday laptop, the MacBook Pro, with me, because it's an Apple product and it's expensive. And when I'm getting my M1 MacBook Pro, I'm not going to take it with me, even if it's smaller. And that's because, well, it's also a friggin' expensive laptop. I'm not going to take a laptop with me that costs nearly $1,700. Thank you very much. Because I care about my Apple products. And I like to collect them, and I use them. And I don't want to break any of them. Anyways, first up is, well, the smartphone. So, this is a very popular device that people like to watch movies on nowadays, as of course I saw on a lot of comments about talking about obsolete media players. I've seen like Tecmo's mini DVD player, and of course several famous videos talking about like GBA video carts, and of course the Video Now, and of course one of the movies that's mentioned, well, mentioned the UMD, which is, in my opinion, the best format to watch movies on when you're on the go, because the PSP has a bigger screen than a smartphone. Alright, so I'm going to test out the smartphone and see what I think about it. I'll come back. Alright, so I actually did a test. I actually watched planes on one of my smartphones. I'll get back to which one in a moment. And of course, I also watched Rogue One on my daily driver. This smartphone that I use every day. Yeah, it's got a bigger screen than the other one, but, well, I gotta be honest with you guys. It's not really ideal to watch movies on the smartphone. Smartphones can do a lot of things, like, well, they can call people and they can go on the internet. And they're good for watching short videos, don't get me wrong, but watching like an hour and a half or a 2 hour or 3 hour movie on this thing is just not for me. But I know that a lot of people do watch movies on smartphones because, well, they're popular and lots of people have one, and nearly everyone has one. And of course, my biggest fear downloading Rogue One on this thing, the HD version of it, because I decided not to download the standard definition version of it because I want the best quality, nearly took up my entire hard drive on the phone. Yes, my biggest fear came to life! And of course, it also eats up the battery, so it's not really ideal. In my opinion, and this is an unpopular opinion by the way, it's not great to watch movies on a smartphone, and the smaller screen doesn't help. Well, keep in mind, not everyone's smartphone is the same screen size, okay? Like I've said, this one is bigger. But I also have like a smartphone that of course is stripped of all of its phone functions, and I just use it as like a media player because it can do media, and I don't need to use it as a phone anymore. I can just use it as a media player, like a little device to watch movies and music on, but still not the best to watch movies on a smartphone. And like I've said, the not everyone's smartphone has the same screen size. Now, I'm gonna hazard to guess to you guys that, well, that you're probably going into the comments and you're probably gonna say something like this. Now, hold that thought, okay? I don't own one of these big giant smartphones. And of course, I also don't own one of those fancy $700, $800, or $1,000 smartphones. And I also don't own one of these like smartphones that flip up to become a tablet. I don't own any of those. And not everyone has the same smartphone, okay? As I said before, not everyone's smartphone has the same screen size. Your smartphone might have a bigger screen than mine. In fact, a huge screen. But I make do with what I got. And of course, despite being an Apple fanboy, I wish I got iPhone, now that I think about it. I actually do have a Samsung smartphone, which is an Android device. And of course, I had no problems with my Samsung smartphone. It's been my trusty smartphone that I used for many years. And of course, I use it to make calls and, of course, do some other PDA things. And sometimes watch videos on it. Short videos. But I don't use it to order things, okay? I don't use my phone to order things, because back in our time we didn't use iPhones to order food. Well, the first iPhone, released in 2007 to be exact. And back in our time we didn't use our Palm Treos to order food. So yeah, I make do with what I have, okay? Just don't go out there and say comments like that, okay? Got that? Well, good. Alright, the next device on the list is the tablet. And of course, this is actually the less popular choice, and that's because, well, less people have tablets than smartphones, and rightfully so. Tablets don't sell as well as smartphones. Lots of people have smartphones, as I mentioned previously. And smartphones are really popular. But the thing that worried me about taking the tablet with me whenever I go watch movies is, well, my iPad that is off screen, my newer one, I can't really take it with me because it's really expensive and I'm afraid to break it and drop it whenever I go. It stays home with me just like my MacBook Pro. However, I do have this older iPad that I inherited from one of my good friends, or a friend of my mom. And I actually do use it a lot. I take it on the go with me, and I go around and go on the internet and watch YouTube with it, despite being an older model. Yeah, it's an iPad, just like my other tablet, and it's pretty good. Alright, so here's what I think. I've actually watched Cars 3 on the iPad, and it's way better than watching any movie on a smartphone. You see, the thing is that, well, the tablet has a bigger screen than a smartphone, and you're less likely to get eye fatigue while watching movies on a tablet, so it's very great to watch movies on a tablet, and you don't have to call people with a tablet. You just use it as a media player and an internet device. So it's very cool. The tablet, in my opinion, is the best choice to watch movies on the go in the modern age. And I just only have Cars 3. I'm considering on downloading Guardians of the Galaxy on that iPad. Yeah. Because I really want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy on an iDevice, despite the fact that James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, is not a fan of Apple devices, especially the iPods and the iPhones and iPads. So it's kind of cool but hilarious to watch Guardians of the Galaxy on a device that James Gunn himself is not even a fan of. Anyways, let's move along to the third and final choice. The third and final modern video player, well, not really modern since barely anybody uses these things anymore, is the iPod. Yep, back in the day, lots of people used to watch movies on this device. And here's what I have to think. Well, it's actually not nearly as good as watching movies on the smartphone because of the smaller screen, and of course, not as good as watching movies on my trusted PSP, my good old trusty video player to play UMDs on. Yeah, it's a smaller screen, and of course, it's not really recommended you watch movies on it, but it's at least novel to watch movies on an iPod. Because barely anybody uses these things anymore, and barely anybody remembers them, because nowadays lots of people are listening to music on Spotify, and I don't listen to Spotify, and Spotify is not compatible with my iPods. I still have iPods. I still use them. Because I like to. And the movie I downloaded on my iPod Classic is, well, my iPod View to be exact, is House on Haunted Hill. And it took me a while to get it on, and I had to use a program on Windows in order to get it on there. And because it's public domain, I can actually show it to you right now. I bet you're excited, 'cause I am. Alright, let's go. Here we go. I actually have my iPod hooked up to the PC speakers because, well, the iPod doesn't even have like a built-in speaker. This was before built-in speakers would become commonplace on mobile devices. Yeah, remember those days? Remember the days when you had to buy a speaker for your iPod, or plug in headphones or a headset to your iPod because it doesn't have speakers? Alright, let's watch House on Haunted Hill, starring Vincent Price. Yeah. I do like the idea of watching movies on an iPod. It's not great, but it is novel. It's a novelty factor. Like I said, this movie is public domain, so I can show it to you anytime, anywhere. No one's gonna sue me for showing it to you guys. I can guarantee you that right now. This movie is too spooky for me. Ooh. Look at there.
The ghosts are moving tonight, restless, hungry. May I introduce myself? I'm Watson Pritchard.
Oh, look at there.
In just a minute, I'll show you the only really
I like this. Yeah, like I said, it's not great, but it's novel.
A century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. Since then, I've owned the house.
Back in the day, I used to download
I've only spent one
movies for the iPod, as you would with iTunes, but nowadays I don't think you can do that anymore. That's why I had to get out my Windows 7 PC to download this movie. Oh, look at there! It's Vincent Price!
And I've rented the house.
Whenever I see him, he just makes me smile. He's a great actor.
She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend
This
the
kind of
next
reminds
12
me of
hours
watching
in this
movies
house, I'll
on
give you
a,
each $10,000.
well,
Or your next of kin in case
an
you
old
don't
portable
survive.
TV player. I mean,
But here come
an
our
old
other
portable
guests.
TV. Those things from the 80s and
It was my
90s
wife's idea to
that
have
you
our
don't
guests
see
come in
anymore.
funeral cars.
Like the iPod. Oh, look.
So amusing.
Oh my god. There's a hearse. This is definitely too spooky for me.
It's empty
Oh,
now, but
3 spooky, 5 me.
who knows?
This movie gives me the chills.
This is
But it's a
Anne
great
Schroeder,
movie though.
test pilot.
Highly recommend you
Someone that's
watching
a brave
it.
man.
I don't want to leave out
Don't you
any
think you could be
spoilers.
much braver if
It's a
you
great classic movie and way better than the 1999
$10,000
remake.
giving?
Anyways,
He's
let's
brave.
move on to my final thoughts.
This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspapers. She says her reason for coming...
Alright, so do I have any final thoughts? Well, I actually do. Here's what I think. In my opinion, the best device to watch movies on the go in the modern age is the tablet. And the reasoning for this is because the tablet has a big screen, a bigger screen, and also screen resolution also plays a factor here. Better screen resolution means less eye fatigue. And of course, it also means that you can sit comfortably and watch your movies on the go without having to squint your eyes. As opposed to the smartphone, which of course has a smaller screen. And I know that smaller screen doesn't affect things because of the resolution, but it has a lower resolution than the probably does have a lower resolution than tablets, and you're more likely to get eye fatigue with it. Well, it's not great. I wouldn't certainly watch movies on a smartphone again, and it's probably the reason why I'm planning to get an Android tablet so I can watch those 2 movies that I downloaded on Google Play, Planes and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. The iPod is, well, it's not great either, but it's at least novel. It's a novelty to watch movies on an iPod. And I do like the idea. And yes, the iPod can output video. But still, nothing beats watching movies on the good old PSP, and even better, a portable DVD player. There's a wide selection of movies on the portable DVD player because you have like a huge collection of DVDs, and you can take some with you and of course watch your Loud House or a regular show or Aqua Teen Hunger Force or whatever kind of cartoon you like to watch DVDs on the go with you, which is awesome. And also Viper, certain shows like Viper don't really have like a release on streaming services. Oh, never mind. That's just a dinghy. That's my phone. So, yeah, it's great to take Viper on the go and watch movies. Watch episodes of Viper on a portable DVD player. So yeah, best option for watching movies on the go in the modern age, aside from a laptop, is definitely, hands down, a tablet, especially the iPads. So that's what I think. Those are my opinions on what devices I think is the best to watch movies in the modern age. Excluding a laptop, because laptops are great for watching movies on. Alright, so this concludes my video about comparing 3 modern video formats and seeing which one is the best. 3 modern video players and seeing which one is the best. I will see you guys later. Peace out.